Here's my major curveball. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. I know, Jay, they won 14 games. That's not a curveball. Well, when you look at the odds, they are third best. Third, after the Lions and Packers. They are plus 350 to win the division. I have planted my flag in the J.J. McCarthy camp. I know some people do not like that, and yes, I'll hear from you about it. Hopefully, he cleans up his off-field stuff, and I think the confidence will be there. I like Kevin O'Connell, J.J. McCarthy to win the NFC North. NFC.
What's his off-the-field stuff? I assume he doesn't mean like anything that's like negative. I think he means like maybe just like the injury type stuff. I mean, which I don't know. Yeah, maybe something's going on with J.J. McCarthy that I don't know. But this is a juicy one, man. I mean, it's so interesting to me because the Vikings were literally a game away from having the number 1 seed in the NFL, you know, in the NFC. And they obviously came up short. And then, of course, the playoffs did not go as anticipated. But there is a feeling, and especially because people struggle to accept Sam Darnold as like turning the leaf and being a great quarterback with the Vikings. And so there was a lot of resistance week after week after week with this team and what they can accomplish. And then when they lost, it was like, see, I told you so, which is really weird because everyone started to get really high on the Washington Commanders, and the Washington Commanders got rolled, and there was no, oh, we were wrong about the Commanders, are not that good. That didn't happen. And, the Kansas City Chiefs kept winning close games and whatnot. But it was like they beat the Buffalo Bills, and it was like, see, told you the Chiefs are better. They're the best team in the NFL. And then they get rocked by the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. And it's like, well, what do you want them to do? The Eagles, they were just so stacked and this and that. And it's like, well, wait a second. You just told me that the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. So it's like, so what's the story here? What's the conversation we're having? And with the Vikings, it's, oh, they're not that good. They're not that good. They keep winning. Then they have a couple bad games back to back. Understandable. The O-line really collapsed. They dealt with some injuries, and Sam Darnold was not able to overcome it. Just like we saw Patrick Mahomes unable to overcome the pressure. And we're just like, see, this team wasn't that good. I told you. And Sam Darnold's not that good. I told you. And then it's like, well, wait a second. Why is that the case though? Then that's like. Seems like we're kind of just picking and choosing what we want to believe in. And and even though this team keeps winning and they're playing great and Sam Darnold's playing great and this, that, and the third, when they finally lose, it's just like, this is what I've been saying all year long. And it's like, well, you were wrong all year long. You were wrong all year long. And I wish we would have, which we, I got stuck. I wish we could have known what the sentiment would be this season if Sam Darnold was still the quarterback. If people would believe like, oh, they're going to even be better. It's year 2 with Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell, and this O-line has improved, and the weapons are going to be healthier now, ideally, and, the defense is going to be upgraded, et cetera, and like, this team is definitely going to be great. They got one of the best rosters in the NFL. The Lions lost their coordinators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now we have some upgrades, some continued continuity with the coaching staff, defensively, offensively. Should be better O-line, should be better defense. I mean, like, should be better all around if you really kind of think about it. But you have a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. And that's when everyone's just like, I don't know what to do with this. And that's why when I said before, I said just like, play the tape forward, play the prediction forward. If J.J. McCarthy is just an average quarterback, and again, I'm not predicting that he will be. I'm just saying, like, think of just a situation where he's just like a pretty good quarterback, average quarterback. It's like, well, then isn't this team great enough to still win a lot of games? Are you relying on this team to be great because your quarterback's going to need to play hero ball week after week after week? Like, nah, that's not the case. And so now continue to play that prediction forward. What if J.J. McCarthy is like pretty good? Like, wow, he's a good quarterback. Okay, so then what does that do to this team now? And what about if you're like, wow, he's a great quarterback? What the heck does this team look like now? And we don't have to go any further than that. We don't have to go any further than that. Because then there's no other limitations for you to point out. You're not like, yeah, but this defense is awful. He's going to be in a million shootouts. You're not going to say, oh my God, well, this division is just littered with just seasoned veterans and coaching quarterback duos that have just been dominant for years. And it's like, you could have said before this was a gauntlet of a division, and in a way it is, but there's still a lot of unknowns. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson together, it's going to take some figuring out. Just like it's going to take some figuring out for J.J. McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell. Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, I'm a believer in that duo. They still have a lot to figure out. The Detroit Lions, they've obviously been a great team over these last few years, have been really dominant for incredibly long stretches. They deserve all the credit and praise in the world. They lost both their coordinators. That matters. That legitimately, undeniably matters. So now this division, I think, is going to be tough, but like very unclear now. Honestly, like I was so excited in 2024 to watch this division, and it absolutely was exactly how I thought it was going to be in terms of like how great these games are going to be. And I kept saying like every game in this division is box office, and now it's even more so. But there are legitimate question marks. We don't know who J.J. McCarthy is in the NFL. We just don't. We don't know who Ben Johnson is as a head coach and with Caleb Williams. We just don't. We have no idea what the Detroit Lions team is going to look like with two brand new coordinators. We just don't. Like, that's exciting for me personally. I couldn't even dream of making a prediction. It really gets boiled down to how great of a quarterback do you think J.J. McCarthy is? And now think about it, though. Think about these quarterbacks who have been great over these last few years, like rookie quarterbacks, like first-year starting quarterbacks, like true first-year starting quarterbacks. So it's either like their first or second year. We can even throw Jordan Love in there because I think, what was he, a first-year starter by his like third season or something? I forget now. But rocky start, some rough games, not so good at times. Caught fire and was great in those. You know, he was like technically like the best quarterback in like the final 10 games of the season. C.J. Stroud, really, really, really great season. A lot of times for a while, I shouldn't say for a while, it only lasted a year. People were saying this was like the best rookie season of a quarterback, but like, you know, still like an interesting way how it unfolded that season as a whole. I think a lot of it really got like, people really got extra excited because they won so big against the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs, but that was like, you know, in hindsight, it was hardly that. I mean, it's impressive in its own right, but when we're trying to look at like the best seasons ever for like a rookie, it's just like, all right, you know, we kind of have to put it in a little bit more context than what it maybe truly was. Justin Herbert balled out, played fantastic, and then of course most recently Jaden Daniels balled out. Had a little bit of a slower start, high completion percentage, but that was really the main thing that was kind of keeping him going in terms of like level of consistency, but nothing else was earth-shattering at the time. Got some momentum going, and then was able to obviously play great, and now they say that he's had the best rookie season of all time. But my point is that like it was clearly not just perfect with no issues. Clearly had some issues. So again, even if we're talking about best case scenario where J.J. McCarthy can match the best rookie year of all time, best first year starter of all time, we know it's still going to have its share of problems and its share of issues. So then the question would remain, is this roster good enough in those moments to still win? And can they be resilient enough in this division where if you have one of those games, but do you have the bad fortune of going against the Detroit Lions or going up against the Chicago Bears or the Green Bay Packers? Like, that's where it'll be interesting. You're almost better off having him drop, like, you know, and just have, you know, one of those bad games or just rough moments or rough stretches in a game that really just kind of puts you behind now. In order for the Vikings to win the way and if JJ McCarthy is legitimately you know, as great as people hope he will be, it's like his rookie moments can't come within the division to win this division. Because even though I have the true question marks about all the teams that, you know, everyone in the division, like I said, It's like they all should still be competent enough and good enough and great enough to still win a ton of games. A ton of games. And so, I mean, to some degree, you can kind of say this a lot, that, you know, winning the division will really come down to how you play each other within the division. But I think, considering the circumstances that are at play, and considering that, like, I don't know, you have to pretty much kind of guarantee that JJ McCarthy is going to have a couple a couple rough games where it's just like not his day, like we've seen every quarterback in the history of the world have. It just can't happen against the Detroit Lions. It cannot happen against the Green Bay Packers or the Chicago Bears. Like, it just can't happen. That, to me, will be the difference between winning the division and not. So it's gonna be tough. It's to me, I couldn't even dream of predicting, honestly. And I'm just really, I've kind of just resigned to the point, because I had so much more confidence in predictions last year compared to this year, and I've kind of just resigned to the take of just like, I really don't know, and I'm just really excited to find out. Like, that to me, that's really what it gets boiled down to. I do believe in JJ McCarthy, and I'm excited to see him, but like, I really, really was wildly impressed with what Sam Darnold brought to this team. And I understand people don't think that Sam is that great, or that JJ McCarthy will be great and all that. I get all of that, but I'm just not going to pretend like JJ McCarthy can just effortlessly step in and play like that of a seasoned veteran. So I'm fascinated to see what Kevin O'Connell does with JJ McCarthy and how he manages dealing with, obviously, an incredibly young, brand new quarterback to the scene. It's a lot different when you elevate a quarterback who's been in the league for 4, 5, 6+ years or whatnot, who's been around, who's been with a lot of various, coaches and OCs, and has a ton of snaps under his belt. That's not JJ McCarthy right now. It's a different journey that he's going to take with JJ than he did with Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins, or even like a Dobbs or something. Like, it really is going to be different. And so I'm more or less just really excited to see like how it actually unfolds, rather than trying to just to make some sort of bold plant my flag prediction. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Minnesota Vikings winning the NFC North? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.